Hello there, welcome back to another video, and this time it is on Patrick Swayze, where I show what I have of his in my collection and discuss the man. Unfortunately, I don't have many. When you look back, he didn't get to do a lot. I know he was one of the guys up for Total Recall, at least an earlier version of Total Recall before Schwarzenegger got involved. That would have been interesting. He was also attached to Predator 2 at one point, and I love Danny Glover, and if you've seen my channel, you know how much I love Predator 2. Patrick Swayze could have pulled it off because Swayze, the Swayze man, Swayze dog. That's an actor I really enjoyed. Scratch that, I really enjoy, because I can still watch these movies and enjoy them. And I do want to collect more of his. Some I haven't seen. State Town USA I don't think has ever been released, as far as I know. I haven't seen Grand View USA. I haven't seen Tiger Warsaw. Some of his later stuff, he did a TV show called The Beast I haven't seen. The only ones I've seen is pretty much these, except I've seen Tu Wan Fu a long time ago. I don't have the film. I know a person was asking that when I did the Wesley Snipes collection. I'm sorry, I don't have Tu Wan Fu, so I can't watch or review it for you. I don't have it. I haven't seen Fatherhood. I know my friend OCP hated it though. But I like to pick up for the collection that, Tu Wan Fu, Title Warsaw, The Beast if it's on DVD. Can't remember what else, but the stuff I have with him in it. First off, Uncommon Valor. Now, Uncommon Valor is a film that, without a doubt, in my opinion, that's a whole oxymoron. I said, without a doubt, in my opinion, then I paused. The reason I paused is because I don't get why this film is so forgotten. Well, because it didn't do the best when it came out, that's why. This doesn't even have a Blu-ray. Uncommon Valor, to me, is one of the most underrated films of all time. I said it. It seems like when I recommend this to people, they watch it, they go, wow, that was really good. Maybe you won't feel the same way, but this is a great action, bits of drama, bits of humor. One of the first movies to deal with going back to rescue POWs in Vietnam. Gene Hackman is a father. It's after the war. His son's missing. For 10 years, he's been trying to figure out how to find him. He gets some people together. He teams up with Robert Stack as the money man. Gets some of his son's buddies as well as other people. And the cast. I mean, you got Fred Ward from Tremors. You got Randall Tex Cobb. You got Tim Thomerson from Trancers and Dollman. You have Reb Brown. You have a very young Patrick Swayze who joins up. And just a fantastic cast. Directed by Ted Kotcheff. This is right after he did First Blood, so this is follow-up to directing First Blood. One of James Horner's best scores, in my opinion. Beautiful song at the end called Brothers in the Night. When I see this film at the end, I get teary-eyed. You feel for these characters, and you don't want bad stuff to happen to them. And the way this film ends, I won't spoil it, is very emotional to me, teary-eyed. And yeah, this is... I'll say right here, Patrick Swayze does a great job. Fighting Randall Tex Cobb. You just opened up the whole can of whoop ass. I get energy from the air. I talk to polar bears, man. I converse with pyramids, man. I fuck nuclear waste. It's always such a crazy line. I use that for when I write down the Theme prequel, which is on here, way back to the day. Just a weird line. I mean, just say it out loud. I talk to polar bears. I converse with pyramids, man. I fuck nuclear waste. The writer Joe Gayton, some interesting lines of dialogue. I love it. I love this film to death. It deserves so much more. Not even a fucking Blu-ray release for this movie. One of the main reasons why I fucking hate Paramount. I hate them to death. They're becoming my #1 company on my shit list. They're really overtaking 20th Century Fox on this point. They really are. Fucking hate Paramount with a passion. Come out with a fucking Blu-ray with interviews, you motherfuckers. Next up is Red Dawn. I know some people are not a fan of this movie. I do enjoy it. This is the collector's edition with a making-of documentary on the second disc, which truthfully could have been on the first disc. This did not need to be split into 2 discs, but oh well. I like the presentation. I like the cover. I think the cast do great. Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Jennifer Grey, Harry Dean Stanton, Powers Booth. Wonderful cast. Pretty much some kids are in class in high school, and one day people parachute in, and the U.S. gets invaded, and this group of kids band together to become a team, a guerrilla team, to go up against the bad guys and defend their homeland. Directed by John Milius. I thought he did a great job. I believe this might have been the first film to be PG-13. Could be wrong on that, but I believe this was the first movie that did PG-13. Again, I could be wrong. It was at least one of the first. But yeah, I enjoy this film a lot. I saw the remake. The remake was a pile of nothing to me. But this had some heart to it, I thought. And some stuff that was really sad watching the film. You be nice until it's time not to be nice. Roadhouse. I didn't grow up with Roadhouse. Roadhouse was one of those movies that sort of, how do I put it? It snuck up on me. One of the reasons I got the DVD was because Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier did an audio commentary. I guess they're fans. Very fun commentary. Excellent commentary. And, of course, this came out when Roadhouse 2, which I never saw. Fuck that. Produced by Joel Silver. Rowdy Harrington, the guy who did Jack's Back, did this movie. You also have Ben Gazzara, Kelly Lynch, Sam Elliott. And so I didn't grow up with this film like a lot of people, but as I saw the movie, I'm like, this is a very entertaining flick. The barroom brawls, back and forth between him and Sam Elliott, sort of his sieging this house at the end of the movie. I think one of the guys he faces is the guy from Masters of the Universe with the sword, like the sword man in that movie. Yeah, this is a fun flick, Roadhouse. What would Dalton do? Yeah, Funhouse is a fun flick. Did I say Funhouse? I meant Roadhouse. See, there I'm jumping the gun. Then you have a really good emotional, romantic, drama as well, supernatural, Ghost. Great love story. The ending is very sad when you watch it now because it's the character going to the afterlife. Beautiful music. I want to get the guy who did the music for this. Maurice Jarre. You also have Whoopi Goldberg as a psychic. Tony Goldwyn. Written by Bruce Joel Rubin, who also wrote Jacob's Ladder. Both came out the same year, 1990. And this is a film that just has a wonderful heart on its shoulder and has the feels, good acting. Besides is that this actually does have features. Written by Jerry Zucker, one of the Zucker brothers who usually work on parodies and comedies. Never thought he would direct a film like this, but he did it and did it very well. Ghost is a great flick. I can admit that. And then we get Black Dog. Entertaining film, fun flick, popcorn flick. He's a guy who used to be a criminal, wants to go the straight and narrow, but he's desperate for cash. He needs to do this one thing for Meatloaf's character. Randy Travis joins him and another guy. Forget the other guy's name. As things go on, then his family gets threatened and he fights back. Sort of an action movie on the road with semi-trucks. Thought Randy Travis did fine. I mean, for a country singer that didn't act much. I know he was also in a bit role in Fire Down Below with Steven Seagal. Randy Travis wasn't that bad. Not that bad at all. You also have George S. Clinton, who did the score to American Ninja 2. He did the score to this. You have Charles Dutton as part of the cast. Kevin Hooks, same guy who did Passenger 57, directed this movie as well. No features other than the trailer, but this is a fun flick. Black Dog. This is another one. He has a very small supporting role in this, but I should mention it. Donnie Darko. I do like Donnie Darko. I saw the sequel S Darko, whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember a damn thing about it. This is one of those films, it's confusing, but at the same time it's interesting, and I kind of get it when I watch it. This is another one that has a fun commentary with Kevin Smith, who joins the director, and Kevin Smith's remarks are pretty funny. This is before he got addicted to weed, so this is when he was funny. So he does a fun commentary with the director, Richard Kelly, which he wanted to do Southland Tales, and that was horrible. But this is, Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job. You have Drew Barrymore, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Mary McDonnell, Patrick Swayze's in it, like I said, for a little role. Yeah. I do enjoy Donnie Darko. I wouldn't say it's like a favorite of mine, but I did like it. It's definitely a interesting and can be pretty confusing flick. I guess this is the director's cut, which I prefer. I don't know, for some reason this made more sense to me than the theatrical cut. It's easier to understand, at least to me. Then, pretty good flick, Next of Kin. Directed by John Irvin, who directed Schwarzenegger's Raw Deal, among other films. You have Patrick Swayze, Liam Neeson, Adam Baldwin, Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton. Really good cast. One of Patrick Swayze's brothers gets murdered, and so Liam Neeson, there's like three brothers. There's Liam Neeson, there's Patrick Swayze, and there's, I believe it was Bill Paxton as the other. And Paxton gets murdered, which, I mean, considering what happened to Bill Paxton, he didn't get murdered, but, you know, his passing, it's, you know, it's sad, but I can watch. I mean, he dies in Predator 2, Aliens, I can watch those movies, so. And Liam, they find out it was the mob. Patrick Swayze happens to be a cop. Him, his brother Liam Neeson, and some people from the Appalachia backwoods decide to take a little bit of revenge. The mountain code of retribution, and the badge he wears. It's a deadly clash for our hero. And Helen Hunt is in the film as Swayze's main squeeze. I think like even Ben Stiller or someone is in this. Like, it has a crazy cast. Yeah, this is definitely a pretty decent flick if you haven't seen it. Next of Kin. No features, sadly. And then these three, they weren't much. Two of these were sent to me. I believe review of these are still up. I could be wrong on that, though. Could be wrong. But these were sent to me. And it's nice to have for the collection, for the Patrick Swayze collection. And Patrick Swayze himself was good in these. So it was nice to see him. So that's why I'm glad to have these. Plus they're gifts, and that's always nice. Letters from a Killer, which this is a guy who was in jail, death row. He was writing love letters to women on the outside. He gets released from prison. They find out something wasn't quite right. And now one of the women, they find out he was writing to other women. They want him dead, and they're trying to frame him or hunt him. Patrick Swayze gives a pretty good performance. I just, the movie itself, it's a pretty low-budget affair. Kind of seems like a movie that would be on Lifetime, the Lifetime channel or something. This actually does have a commentary with director David Carson. Behind-the-scenes montage, interviews with cast, director, and producer. Isn't that fucked up? Not Uncommon Valor, not Next of Kin, not Black Dog, but this has a shitload of features. Pretty damn crazy. They made Patrick Swayze look like the killer, but he's not. Like, don't open the mail, and Patrick Swayze looks psychotic. Very false advertising, because he's not, that's not the case here. Not the case here at all. Then you have Green Dragon with Patrick Swayze and Forrest Whitaker. Patrick Swayze's not really the main guy, neither Forrest Whitaker. It's more... it takes place in 1975 in refugee camps to house an exodus of 100,000 Vietnamese immigrants before and immediately after the fall of Saigon. So we're in one of these refugee camps. And it follows more of this character named Ty, played by Don Duan. Sorry if I'm butchering the names. Rise of Camp Pendleton. Patrick Swayze does show the guy around, but it seemed like more this other guy's movie than Patrick Swayze's movie. Maybe that's why I was kind of disappointed with this flick. But it was still nice to see these two actors in the movie. But yeah, it seems like more this guy's movie. Ty, again, Don Duan. More his flick, it seemed. And less Patrick Swayze's. And as a commentary with the director and the cinematographer. Behind-the-scenes documentary. Again, like, it's weird, like, these are two of the Patrick Swayze films that have features, but not Next of Kin, or Uncommon Valor, or Black Dog. Even this has a little bit of a feature, and this was, not on Lifetime, but on Hallmark Entertainment, Icon. Michael York, Ben Cross, Patrick Bergen, Jeff Fahey. It was cool to see Patrick Swayze star in this movie, but it's directed by Charles Martin Smith, who directed 50-50, which I love, with Peter Weller. This one, though, it's a pretty boring flick. It's 173 minutes long. If you don't... I mean, a 2-hour and 50-minute movie... almost 3 hours. I mean, 2-hour and 53-minute movie. Almost 3 hours long. And this plot cannot catapult through almost 3 fucking hours. It takes place in Russia. Escalating crime and corruption. A radical right-wing party leader welcomes the chaos, played by Patrick Bergen. He looks forward to the new election of a president, Russian president. Patrick Swayze is an ex-CIA guy to look into Patrick Bergen's character. He's seen the guy's manifesto, which calls for a return to dictatorship, military expansionism, and genocidal ethnic cleansing. He's going to blow the lid off this guy's secret new order. He's also trying to find Ben Cross, the sadistic KGB officer who once tortured and murdered 4 of his agents, as now Patrick Bergen's head of security. This is not as action-packed and thrilling as this description is making it out to be. But it does have bonus The Making of Icon and an interview with Patrick Swayze, which is nice. But yeah, I was not a big fan of Icon. Picked this up for a couple bucks almost 3 years ago. Over 3 years ago. No, about 3 years ago. Yeah, about 3 years ago. So, yeah, just wasn't a fan of this. Just based on a best-selling author, Frederick Forsyth. Never read the book. But the movie, yeah, just did nothing for me. And that's it for Patrick Swayze. When I heard the news that he passed away from cancer, it was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking because I like this guy, really enjoyed quite a few of his stuff. I thought he could pull leading man material very well. I mean, imagine nowadays, you know, you have these actors like Liam Neeson. They did like Kevin Costner, Sean Penn. They come back and do these action films. I could easily see Patrick Swayze doing that. I love Taken, but can you imagine if Patrick Swayze was in Taken? Or a Taken type of movie? Or it doesn't have to be like Taken, but again, sort of a plot where you have a older leading man as an action star. Patrick Swayze could easily have pulled that off. And I just thought of that because Liam Neeson was in Next of Kin with Patrick Swayze. But sadly, that did happen. And that sucks. I miss Patrick Swayze. Really do. May you rest in peace. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.